What is going on, people? Welcome back into the channel. I hope you're having a good week so far. I know it has not been the happiest of weeks for me. It's rather somber here today. The weather's not great. We're in international break. My NFL team lost this past weekend in rather shocking fashion. So you know what? Things aren't going good. So it got me thinking. I want to go back and I want to just reflect on the videos and the things that I've posted on this channel. You know, we've posted 43 videos now. And you know what? If you're coming from the last video, I got a ton of new subs from that. Thank you all for the support. We came at you with a lot of statistics and a lot of analysis and some real true, like, deep diving content. And you know what, guys? I'm not going to come up here and put up a front. I'm not always like that. I'm not always going to come with numbers. I'm not always going to be right. And today we're really going to prove that. And we're going to go laugh at ourselves because you know what? Life is not that serious. If you're having a bad day, sometimes you just got to look back and you got to laugh at things and just focus on the small victories. You know, we had a couple small victories this week. First things first, we are growing massively on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for the support. The way that the comments have been supporting me is enough to get me up here after, you know, a long night of work or a long gym session and just get up in front of the camera and record. This is my happy place. I love making YouTube videos, so I thank you all for the support. Now listen, I posted a video. I'm looking at it right now. You can't see it yet. On July 27th. That's the first one I want to look at today, okay? I said, I'm concerned about Coventry City. This was after the Brighton friendly. So against the Premier League side, the first game of the season, I was panicking. We're going to laugh at ourselves. But first, let's talk about some small victories, okay? Life isn't always going to be just a straight up trend, okay? Sometimes you're not going to be having the best week. You know, you don't have your football team to look forward to at the end of the week. You don't have this. You don't have that. You know, it's not a nice day out. I know you guys are way more used to it not being nice out than me. But small victories, that's what you got to focus on in life. And those are the things that get you through the day to day. And then, you know, in a year from now, if you focus on small victories, you look back and you're 1,000 times happier and you're in 1,000 times better place. So, what small victories can we look at today? Now, this one's rather obvious, but it would be so dumb of me to not look at this. Coventry City are the only undefeated team in England. Round of applause, please. 9 games played, 5 wins, 4 draws, 20 goal differential. We all know what's going on. Absolutely amazing. Secondly, we posted a TikTok yesterday. Little international break, sad ting, you know, little freaking pose action, whatever you want to call it. There's sad music over it. I don't know if there's like copyright or something if I play it. But yeah, that's the post. Now, as I move myself over, look who commented on this post. Yes, you are seeing that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. Coventry City commented on my post. Shout out, admin. He said, bro, you still get to watch Hodge, which I obviously had to reply to. We could watch that.
Coventry, you just don't understand, man.
I get to see Haji, but at what cost? I need to know how Wolfie's fitting in with the squad. I need to know how Brow's English is going. I need to know if Kane taught Milan how to backflip yet. Please keep us fed. So yeah, there you have it. That's a small victory. Coventry are massive. Coventry commented on my TikTok. We're growing like crazy on YouTube. So now let's get into it and let's humble ourselves, okay? Because we came into this video sad and somehow I've gaslit myself into thinking I'm the man, which I'm not. So yeah, okay, here we go. Throwback to July 27th. And I already know I'm going to be cringing at this video because I watched back one of my old videos the other day and they are so bad. And by the way, I have not watched this back at all. I just looked at the title and I knew I needed to react. So we're going to react to this. And then I have another video that I want to react to as well. I'm concerned about Coventry City in the upcoming EFL Championship season. We are less than 2 weeks away from the start of the EFL Championship season. I wanted to get on here today, just freestyle in front of the camera and talk about Coventry City. Yesterday, they played a behind closed doors match, friendly against Brighton, where they lost 2-0. As we say whenever our teams lose in preseason. Why did I care so much about a closed door friendly, bro? All we saw was the highlights, dude. We didn't even see the bulk of the game. And I'm not too bothered about the result, which I genuinely am not, but there are a couple things that I've been feeling and I've talked about before because I am concerned going into the upcoming season. I'm gonna whack the green screen up behind me in a few minutes. All right, boring. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, bro. This guy sucks. Should I go green screenception? What are we thinking? There's no live chat. I have to make that decision myself. And that's just goals per 90, so it's literally just the amount of goals that you just scored this season divided by 46. So we can see Coventry City at 1.37, which is 4th in the league. So you'd think you'd go to yourself, there probably weren't any issues with their attack this past season, but I sort of disagree in a respectful manner. So let's take it over to the next one. Entitled ass fan. Bro was complaining about the 4th most goals per game in the entire league. Meanwhile, there were 2 super teams in the championship last year. Anyways, next stat we're going to look at is crosses. How many times did they cross the ball? They crossed the ball. Okay, this one has been completely put to bed. But anyways, it is mad though. It is mad. I remember exactly what I said about this. It's actually a good point, to be fair. 1,014 times last season, which is absolutely ridiculous. They're the only team to hit the 4-figure mark. And then the teams below them are Portsmouth, Swansea, Luton, Sheffield Wednesday. Then you got Leeds down at 926. So the other teams that are around them are, you know, not exactly the best people to be compared to. Then you've got Leeds down there, but Leeds were just an anomaly last season. Why was I looking so pale back then? What did I say? This was July 27th. I'm trying to think. Was I just not touching grass? Or it might be the light. I think I had a different light or some shit. The amount of times that they cross, as good in the sense that you're scoring goals, but also bad because you become very one-dimensional in your attack. Just to further back up that stat, crosses into the penalty area. So completed crosses into the 18-yard box, not including set pieces. They were also number 1 with 133. Swansea, Hull, Derby, Wednesday, Brom, right behind them. Excuse me, West Brom. I can't misname any club or else the comments will absolutely fry me, so I just have to clarify that. So again, that is true, but it's actually gotten a lot better. I think people are starting to, like, I'm not going to say respect, but, you know, just let it slide. But, I mean, to be fair, all good points so far, but it is nitpicky. It is nitpicky after a friendly. I don't know. Not really a functional business model. You know, if you open a fast food chain and you only sell burgers and you don't sell fries, probably not going to get too far unless you got Five Guys level burger. Then you might be okay. But this isn't any... I cooked with that. Crosses. So what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Oh, our strikers are shite. I don't think that is true. Is Haji Wright lazy? Yes, at times. Does Ellis Sims have ice skates on his feet? Yes, at times. Does Brandon Thomas Asante look like he doesn't know what team he plays for at times? Yes. But they aren't getting the proper service that they need to be the lethal strikers that they have potential to be. You've seen all 3 of those guys have really good seasons. You've seen 2 of them score 20 goals in the Prem. Jack Rodoni's heat map right here. He is a half winger. He always finds himself in these winger spaces, and then he quickly makes his way back to the box, which is why he's able to score so many headers. And he's a great passer, which is why he's able to get so many assists. Other midfielder, you got Victor Torp. He is more of a box-to-box guy. You're going to find him everywhere. He, who I've said before, is a key to next season if he can help us play the ball through the middle of the pitch. Yes. Victory lap. It's not all bad. Listen to what I just said. Make sure you're listening, bro. If you're not listening, you will perish. He, who I've said before, is a key to next season if he can help us play the ball through the middle of the pitch more, because clearly when Rodoni's on the ball's going down the wing. I want to just show you guys. That is Fat Cat of Joner Fat Cat FC just bulling on top of the PC. Probably not healthy for him. I'm going to get him down. Wait a second. This might actually not be a lowlights video. This might be, I might have cooked. Talk about the criticism that the strikers are getting this offseason. Specifically Haji Wright. I've gotten into a few scraps on Twitter, but I'm trying to stay as respectful as possible. I just feel like the standard that people hold him to is just so Why was I trying to flex the broceps? Unrealistic. Because he's coming in for a striker that just sold for £70 million to Arsenal. He's had 2 very good seasons. Last season was riddled with injury, but people are so quick to get on him because it looks like he's a lazy player when he's not on the ball. But then they're saying things like, oh, let's give Sims a chance up top. Let's give Thomas Asante a chance up top. Did you see how they performed last season? Why would you be so quick to get on a guy who bagged 12 goals in the league? He missed 4 months of the season and say, oh, let's give a chance to someone who played 40 matches last season and scored 6 goals. What is the logic behind that? I feel like people are... I did cook. He's bagging 20 this year. Anyways, so obviously... He's bagging 20 this year. He's already got 8. Top scorer, Golden Boot favorite. Yes! This was supposed to humble me. It's not humbling me right now because now I look like a genius. Funny to see my growth on YouTube. I feel like I was so bad back then compared to now. Before we get into the video, if you're a championship fan, drop a subscription. It only takes a second and it helps me grow my channel. I also post on TikTok. That's probably my main platform. At Joner Fat Cat. Links are on my profile. Yeah, plug it, son. Go on. The first person is, and I think everyone would expect if you've been following the championship this summer at all, Kyogo Furuhashi. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, this guy was one of the greatest Celtic players of this generation. If you look at the goal to game ratio, 86 goals in 167 matches. That's absolutely insane. He scored in the Champions League. He was on Man City's shortlist just a year ago. Things wearing the Man City kit in the video. I actually didn't do that on purpose, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. This guy has the Ronaldo chop of a god. He has an insanely good first touch. He sits on the shoulder of a defender, and if they send him on a through ball, he is through. Obviously, we know he's 30 years old. He is getting a little old, but he's still a quick player. He's got some muscle to him. Yeah, Unk ain't got it anymore, bro. Unk ain't got it. Let's look at Kyogo's stats this season. It's just shocking to me. It's just shocking that, you know, this big money name comes in, Kyogo Furuhashi, and in 9 games, he's only started 5 of them. What's the math on that? 5 divided by 466. Or, you know what I mean. It averages out to like 50 minutes played per game. Like, he didn't start against Coventry. He came on in the 80th minute with, what's his name? the midfielder from Wolves, when the game was completely out of reach. He hasn't been starting every game, clearly. I mean, he only played 25 minutes against Wrexham, the Hollywood derby. He did bag one that was called back for either an offside or a foul, but just the way that Kyogo has fit into this team and the way he's performed has just really surprised me this season. They were calling him 007 at one point, but now it's 009. But, I mean, we just look at these, and these aren't the most accurate, but, you know, no goals. He does have 2.2 XG, which isn't terrible, but, you know, that just shows he's not being, I guess, clinical, or it could show that he's unlucky. But I think we all know after that first game against Ipswich Town, I think we were all shaking in our boots. I remember it was a Friday afternoon, and I was like, you know what? I might just have to end it, man. I might just have to end it, because if Birmingham City finish above Cov, I will be very sad. Very low in passing as well. There's one statistic I need to show you that I don't even want to put out because I feel so bad doing it, but it's just eye-opening, mouth-dropping, whatever you want to call it. And that's passing completion percentage, okay? You know, there's no denying that. That is a very important statistic. Who is going to be at the top? Winks from Leicester. We're seeing Ozo. Okay, so a lot of defensive-minded players. It makes sense. Aiden Morris is a really shocking one. He's sitting at 90.3%. How good has he been this year? We'll talk about him later this week. I've got some interesting videos planned.
We're going to talk about players I don't think should be in the championship. And just a little hint, he's one of them. But guys, that's not what we're talking about. Let's hit it again and see what happens.
Famous last words for some. But who is the lowest passing accuracy in the champ? It is... Oh, it's Josh Murphy. But look who's number 2. Kyogo Furuhashi has completed 18 of 42 passes this entire year. That is crazy. Look, all the numbers around him are so much lower, so you wouldn't want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But if he has less passes, he should have a higher percentage. How has he only made 42 passes and only completed 42% of them? That is crazy to me. He's played 5.2 full games out of 9. I know they have not been able to create opportunities, but to me, that is just absolutely insane. Let's look at some other strikers just to make sure that we're not being biased. We're not being silly about it. So there's plenty of top attackers near the top. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but there's a lot of midfielders and defenders. It just makes sense. They're making less high volatility and low percentage completion rate passes. So, but there are still some players that creep in. So Tommy Conway, he's almost sitting at 90%. He's a forward. Adam Armstrong, 85%. Windass and IU, both sitting just below 80. Mavididi, just below 80. Naipan, I'm not even going to try to pronounce bro's first name. Severe Naipan, 78%. Isaac Price of West Brom sitting at 77%. Let's just find one more for the absolute vibes. Jack Clark, 76%. Haji Wright, 63%. It's just wild to me that, you know, he's got such low involvement. He's not even getting touches on the ball. It's really definitely a fundamental thing going on there. They just haven't figured out how to gel the squad. I'm sure things will change, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say that Kyogo is going to be shit for the rest of the season. They literally need to play him. I mean, they spent so much money on him. He was their premier signing of the summer. Things will probably turn around, but I just want to call it out when I see it because it's just mind-boggling. The most expensive transfer of the entire summer is passing at a 42% clip. He's not getting playing time. He's not getting touches on the ball, and he still has not scored. But hey, you know what, guys? I don't know if you guys thought that was a substanceful episode, but to me, I enjoyed that. That got me out of my bad mood. That snapped me out of it. It's fun to just never take things too serious, you know? Like, some of the takes on here were absolutely heinously poor. Like how I said I was concerned for Coventry City. I said they have no chance of winning the league with this team. I said this, I said that. I am going to victory lap on the whole striker thing, though, because even BTA and Sims stepped it up as well. I really only predicted Haji to, but they all have up the levels, so shout out there. But, you know, that's it for today. I wanted to get on here, make a video, get me some dopamine, some serotonin. So if you made it to the end, thanks a lot. Let me know how you are bridging the gap from this international break. Please subscribe if you are new. Thanks a lot for the support. As always, please like the video. Helps push it. And subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Catch me on TikTok, Twitter, I don't know, whatever other social medias. Peace.